out the post. All right, test 1 2, test 1 2. There we go. All right, we're back in the saddle. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a Monday, August 23rd. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're watching on a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by bullpenpicks.com. Anybody can play, anybody can join. You want to follow the top pickers each and every day right here at bullpenpicks.com. And let's take a look at our leader right now. In fact, let me bring this up on the other screen, so I'll just share it over with you guys. And while I'm doing this, how's my sound? Is my sound a little bit better? I know, like Lori said, I sounded like a chipmunk there for a second ago, but hopefully my sound is better. And let me do a little sound check right here. Sound check, 1 2. Sound check, 1 2 1 2. All right, so the sound looks like we're back to normal again. So there we go. All right, so let's go back to the bullpenpicks.com. And again, let's take a look at our top scorers right now at the website. And our top scorer is Gas House Gang here, Patrick Klein. Much better, says Jermaine Brown. That's good to hear. Ed Drake is at 826. And Nicola Batista, Nicky Bats, sitting in third spot at 810. And those are your top scorers right now at bullpenpicks.com. All right, thanks Avius Outlaw and Jermaine Brown. Let me know. Yeah, that sounded a little weird. Hey, what can you do, right? It's technology, and sometimes it is what it is. Just a good old reboot, and then we're back at her. All right, so the World Series Handicapping season number 10 is underway. Anybody can join. Sign up today. It's only $25 entry fee. And if you win the contest, you win the Baron Championship rings. You also get $1,500 in cash. And anytime you go 7-0 during the contest, you will win $50 in cash. So you get $25 your money back and $25 to boot. So this way, if you can go 7-0 a couple times during the contest, you will do much better. Morning, Ms. Denica. How you doing? There's snipers in the house. And Eric C. People are tuning in right now on the Monday, a Manic Monday. And what we're going to do, we're going to talk about the Major League Baseball games going on today. We'll talk about the NFL game tonight between the Jags and the Saints. And we'll see what else we can scramble up here, and maybe a little horse racing at the beginning of the show like we always do, a little Parx Racing today. And don't forget, if you haven't played yet, check out streetcatcher.com. And Big Hurt is sitting at 4 winning streaks along with C. Peter 2021. And those are your top 2 streakers right now. Those are your Frank the Tanks right here at streetcatcher.com. All right. So it looks like we're really good now. Mark Nation's in the house. New week, new opportunity. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Last week was not a really good week for yours truly here in baseball. Man, you know, when you bet underdogs and favorites are just coming in at a high clip, it really hurts the average a bit, right? So yesterday I was talking about Chip Kelly's book, The Tao of Chip Kelly. I'm just going to bring this up here, and if anybody can see that. If you're a football coach and you're looking for always, some resources or some good motivational books, I think this one here is a really good one. Chip Kelly wrote this one when he was at Oregon in 2013. The Tao of Chip Kelly. Hey, what's Chip Kelly's motto when he was at Oregon? Win the day or something like that. Let me see here. It's in these chapters here. If you look at the book, I don't know. Does any of you guys get Chip Kelly's book? Win the day is trademark, so I just want to make sure that I say that I'm not infringing on Chip Kelly's trademark infringement rights there. So he did trademark that saying. So if you are interested in those type of books, I found that one was really good. Urban Meyer's got a good book too called Above the Line. If you're a football coach or any type of coach, you can be a baseball coach, any type of coach, you can get those something out of those books, right? If you're in sports and you're a football coach or any type of coach, you're always looking to inspire your players, right? And gain a little knowledge. Like we're always telling our players, right? Get better each day. Well, it's the same thing with coaches. I tell our coaches all the time, like, what are you doing to get better, right? So if you're involved in amateur sports or even college or even NFL, you never stop learning, right? You can always teach an old dog a new trick each and every day. And you see in the transformation of coaching in the college ranks, right? Coaching, it evolves. I have a rule in life. I say everything evolves every 7 years. Look at your friend's circle every 7 years. Look at, when you're born, 0 to 7, your primary school. 7 to 14, you're just transitioning into, the junior high. And then, 14 to 21, you go from high school to university. So every 7 years in your life, there's a bit of a transformation happening, a reset in some way, and you're learning something new. And, every 7 years, that's why they call it the 7-year itch, I guess. But I believe in that. And, I always say, look at your circle of friends, right? I always say, if the same people you have as friends stay in your 7-year circle, those are your true friends. Anybody else is just acquaintances, right, in life? So a little bit of a Ron Raymond rant here today on a Manic Monday. I like to go off topic sometimes. Hey, where's my buddy Corner Gas there to get me back online? But you know what? It's who I am, and I just can't help myself sometimes when I just get on these rants, right? The old football coach comes out of me, and since I'm not coaching right now, you guys are all my players type thing. So I'm gonna inspire you guys today to go out there and get a winner, right? All right, not going to cap. You made me bank. What? Not going to cap. You made me bank yesterday. Minion to Goat TV. All right. Gloria, what's the difference between your premium picks? Yeah, I got your email there, Gloria. So the difference between a membership and a premium membership is anytime you get. So she's asking, what's the difference between this membership here when you buy a regular membership? This is the regular membership that you get with a membership with your subscription, and then the premium ones. And normally the premium ones are the ones I post for football season, right? When you come baseball season, I only post a couple, and the plays that I do post in my premium are only the plays that I really bet more units on, right? So all these selections you see here are ones I play. I bet every pick I play. So if you're wondering, does he bet all those plays? Yes. I bet all those plays, but the premium ones, the one I go a little bit heavier on. But the premium picks is mostly meant for football season, right? So if you are a premium member, just know that, I don't give a lot of premium in baseball. I will do it in hockey. It's mostly geared towards football. So college football, NFL, CFL, like this weekend, for example, if you go look at the CFL, I didn't have any CFL picks this week, but I had one premium pick. In the CFL, and it was the over in Winnipeg. So that's the difference between a regular membership and a premium pick membership. All right. So we got that out of the way, and let's see here. What's it? Okay. Boston Red Sox says Mo Boss Ness money line. So Mo likes the Boston Red Sox today. All right. So let's take a look at the SBI, the Sports Betting Index. In fact, let's go to horse racing first, and then I'll get into the SBI. I always start off the show with a horse racing pick. If you are new to the Raymond Report, that's how we roll around here. We always pay our respects to the horse racing industry. That's where I find I feel that's where the gambling gods really started to me in my life as a sports handicapper. That's where I started. Right, a lot of people start their way into gambling from the track. Right, we all know a guy named Vinny at the track in a velvet suit. Right. Parx Racing, $60,000 maiden special rate race. Race number 1 today is at 12:55 post time at Parx. 5.5 furlongs on the dirt. We're going to go 10-8-4 in race number 1 today at Parx Racing. Dr. Steve is taking a ride here. Rodriguez taking a ride on Dr. Steve, the number 10 horse, 3-1 morning line. The number 8 horse, Witty, with Lopez taking a ride here on the 8 horse, Witty, 6-1 morning line. And he got a poker face, the 4 horse, with Silvera taking a ride here on 4. He got a poker face, 6-1 morning line. 10-8-4 is your recommendation today at Parx Racing in race number 1. And if you're going to play the Joker, it's a nice long shot today. Bobby's friend Popeye Jimenez taking a ride here on the 5 horse, Bobby's friend Popeye, the number 5 horse, 15-1 morning line. All right, let's take a look here at 10-8. 8-4, 4-5 exacta box in race number 1 today at Parx Racing. And if you're going to do a trifecta, 10-8-4, 5-8-4 trifecta box. Always remember to box those horses. And if you're going to play the Joker today, guys, the number 5 horse, Bobby's Friend Popeye. I always recommend the Double Dutch betting system. That's the 5 horse, 15-1 morning line. So if you got a $20 budget per race, put 10 to win, 10 to place on the number 5. In fact, if the number 5 horse comes in before Dr. Steve, who's 3-1, I bet you the number 5 horse pays more to place probably than if the number 3 comes in or the number 10 comes in first. All right, those are your free horse racing picks today at Parx Racing. In fact, a lot of races today at Parx. And I'm looking at, 10 races today at Parx? 12. You got 12 races today at Parx Racing. So pack a lunch. You might be there a long time today at Parx Racing. All right, there's, let me see here. I'm not going to cap Boston Red Sox. Tampa Bay all day, every day, says Minion the Goat TV. You playing at 320, says Mark Nation. Ready for class in front of the room, says OG Wheat. All right, students are in the class, and we're ready to rock and roll here today. Not wearing a rock and roll shirt today. I'm wearing my Brew Crew shirt here today, and we're ready to roll right here. All right. So each and every day when I do come on the show, I always like to look at the SBI, and I'm going to look at the SBI, but I'm going to take a look first at the market index. Now, I come on this show and I talk to you guys a lot about the perception versus reality, and how, just think about this. Don't even look at the lines when you print out the daily schedule, say for baseball. Don't look at the odds. I know it's going to be hard if you're printing it out because it's right there in front of you. Maybe block it off and do your own lines and do your own total, and then compare that with the bookmaker and do that for a week, and then watch how your lines will start getting maybe a little bit more sharper, right? And again, I always talk about perception versus reality, and I'm working on a new tool. When you do this as long as I have, and you see how things evolve, and I'm really seeing something play out here in the sports betting in the sports betting world. And I saw this in the NBA. You're gonna see the bookmakers really have a decision to make between a pick'em to a -3 and the money line. I have a feeling we're gonna see a lot of bettors, instead of playing minus pick'em, -1, -2, -3, they're just going to spend the extra money and go on the money line. Watch how the bookmaker adjusts to that. I got a feeling that you're going to see more people. If you look at the money line at -3, pick'em to -3, it's manageable. But as soon as you get into -4, -5, now it becomes a little bit more expensive. And I'm going to see how the bookmaker, how they do adjust that today. There's Grayson Rudders, my buddy Grayson. What's up, Coach? How's your day going? There's our quarterback from the Raffman. Now Grayson's out in the East Coast, and hopefully he's doing well. How you doing, Grayson? Grayson's a great kid. Good quarterback too. All right, better odds. Mo Boss Ness says 2-teamer Red Sox parlay. Yeah. Red Sox -320. I don't think so today, like Mark Nation said. But I'm working on a new tool. It's going to be called Perception Performance. Anytime you look at sports, and like I look at the CFL, and you look at what happened this weekend between Winnipeg and Toronto. Winnipeg went into that game, opened up the line. I think the line opened up like close to 7 or something like that, and it came down to -4, -3. And when I look at both of those teams between Winnipeg and Toronto, from a talent point of view, there's really not much difference. Like Winnipeg, they're all based on defense, and when I look at the Toronto Argonauts, a lot of offensive weapons. Defense is getting there. I feel their defense is pretty good, but on offense, I feel they got a really good. I feel like they do have a good offense. Defense is okay, but performance-wise, when I look at performance, there's a certain perception that you have on each team's performance, offense and defense, and I'm going to come up with some type of index chart where I'm going to rate each team's offense and defense and special team performance, and then compare it to the lines. And I think because when you look at sports betting, there's the analytical view of it. You get the numbers, you get the offense, but then what makes handicappers and gamblers really special, it's the eye. It's the eye. The eye believes, right? When you're scouting the games, when you're watching film, when you're looking at things, you're self-scouting, right? And I think that's the one thing that you do have an advantage over the bookmaker, because the bookmaker has access to all the data that you have, but they don't have access to the way you think. And I think that if you have your own performance evaluation system of players, and then you got to find some way in when you do that breakdown of that performance evaluation, break it out into numbers, and then use that performance rating towards the bookmaker's line, then you could be onto something right here. Because at the end of the day, when you look at sports handicapping, to me, I break it in three ways, right? Value, the value, percentage play, and the performance cycles. Performance cycles are part of that performance evaluation, but again, it involves different aspects like streaks, coming off a win, coming off a loss, coming off a left-handed pitcher. But I think and I'll go back to my big three analogy, right? If you watch the Raymond Report the last couple of years, every team needs a triplet. And I go back to the Dallas Cowboy days when you think of Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, right? Does every team in football have a triplet factor, right? In defense, to me, if you go look at the stats on defense, the player that makes the most tackles, to me, it's two players. The middle linebacker and the safety, right? The safety valve. If you go look at the stats of those two, like if you saw the linebacker this weekend for the Philadelphia Eagles, former Calgary Stampeder, man, this guy is amazing. I forget his name. It's something. Let me go get his name because he really had an amazing game last game here. Let me bring this up real quickly, and let me go. And I should know it offhand. I'm not really good with, as you can tell, when you cover NHL, NBA, and all the other sports, man, there's so many names to remember all the time, right? But let me go to the defense here, and let me go to my linebacker crew. And Singleton, there he is, Alex Singleton. He used to play with the Calgary Stampeders. Alex Singleton has jumped around everywhere. He started in the NFL, went to the CFL. Man, this kid is actually, he's really getting recognized now, and he's getting the recognition he deserves. Because Alex Singleton, if you watch the last game, he was making tackles all over the place. And it's really good to see him get the recognition that he finally deserves, right? All right, let me see what everybody is saying. Red Sox going to lose everyone's parlay. I'm scared that the Cubs in Oakland, says Curtis Bunch. All those picks last few weeks, Ron said I would take the over. They all went way under. Yeah, exactly. And this is why you got to follow the numbers, right? I'll only be scared by betting Cubs. Fade Ron Raymond. Fade this guy, says JR. Okay, he's a losing coach. All right, thanks a lot, JR. Thanks for coming out. Anyway, hey, you know what? Like I said, if you guys want to take a shot, take a shot. But as long as you be respectful, I'll keep you in the bullpen. But as soon as you guys start getting disrespectful, then I'm gonna kick you out of the bullpen. All right, let's get to the SBI, the Sports Betting Index, today for a Monday, August 23rd, and let's take a look here. And let me see here. I'm just gonna take a look. All right, so the last 7 days, 62.1% of the favorites have come in. Yesterday, the underdogs finally had a day yesterday, 6-7 for the underdogs yesterday, 6-6-1. And as you can see right here, in the last 7 days for the over-unders, 44.7% of the overs come in, 55.3% of the unders. So the unders are coming in at a pretty good clip here the last 7 days. So if you are betting in the Major League Baseball, again, I think the favorites are doing well, and I think that if you're betting unders right now, you're probably doing well because 55.3% of the unders have come in the last 7 days. All right, let's take a look at some of the games here. Before I do, I want to look at the market index. So again, when I go back to the perception versus reality, one thing I want to talk about is the perception that's out there from the betting public, right? And in the Raymond Report, I always grade my teams A, B, and C type teams. And when you look at the A type teams right now, there's only 5 Major League Baseball teams that I consider A type teams. Actually, 4. San Francisco, the Dodgers, Tampa Bay, Milwaukee. And you can see the Yankees, Houston, and White Sox are knocking on the door of having a 60% or higher win percentage. And these are the teams that will come. If you look at my DMVI, the Daily Market Value Index, and again, this is what I'm talking about, the perception that's what's out there. Take this line right here and compare it to the bookmaker's line. So this way you'll know from a performance evaluation the last 7 days how they do towards the line, right? And if you look at the teams in pink, those are C-type teams, or teams that are bearish. Teams that are bearish, they're either 0-7, 1-6, or 2-5 in their last 7. And as you know, I'm very color coordinated when I do these type of things. And when you click on the confidence level right here, you can see that the confidence level of all the teams will show up on top. And depending on the type of team, it's very rare you see these C-type teams in the confidence level where you'll see all the green right here in just a few seconds. But while this loads up, let me take a look at all the chat going on right now. And let me see all those picks. Mark Nate, thank you, Lori. Appreciate the support there, Lori. And yeah, so again, folks, don't be scared if you do like some selections here today, or you have a comment that you want to make on anything that I'm saying. Don't be scared. Just again, as long as you guys are respectful. Anybody who gets disrespectful and just doesn't want to be a team player type thing and takes the situation like we're having here and just trying to cause crap or whatever, I have no tolerance for that stuff. I'm a very positive guy, and anybody who comes in here wanting to be negative, I'll just remove that person from the channel, right? All right, so let me take a look here now. So the last 7 days, okay, here we go. So the last 7 days, teams that are really here's the teams that are not doing really good right now, but these are the teams with the highest value. Now, you're looking at Baltimore, Miami. Now, the B-type teams, these are teams that I would really look at here today. Toronto, if they're playing. Philadelphia, San Diego, Oakland. Now, these are teams that are bearish, what I consider bearish right now, so they're not having a good run. And the teams that are really having a good run, the teams all in green here, look at Kansas City right now. Yeah, but they just played the Cubs. So, there's a reason why they're bullish right now. But Milwaukee, Cincinnati, Colorado, even though they lost yesterday, not having a good run. Cleveland, San Francisco, Tampa Bay, LA, Dodgers, Yankees, Atlanta. Those are teams that are very bullish right now, and those are teams you probably want to consider when you're handicapping at the moment. All right, let's see here what we got going today, and we'll kick it off with Texas taking on the Boston Red Sox. Now, Boston a -300 favorite. The over-under here is set at 9.5. You got Nathan Eovaldi going up against Colby Allard of the Texas Rangers. And looking at the forecast, 5.2 to 4.7. The over-under at 9.95. Texas 3-7 in their last 10. 5-5 for the Boston Red Sox. And when you're looking at the last 10 games for the over-under, the Rangers 5-5. Now they're coming off a 10-1 win in their last game against the Bo Sox. And on the season, their season average to over-under pretty balanced, 60, 58, and 5. And for the Boston Red Sox, you can see they are 7-55 on the year, but they're not having a really good month or so, right? In the last 15 games, the Boston Red Sox 6-9 in their last 10, while Texas 4-11. JR, own your bets, says Mary Kay. All right, let me see here. So, Cap and 8 easy. I appreciate the effort and long-term. Ron's a winner. I'll try and to help us all. Hey, you know what? People want to take a shot. It's because at the end of the day, I really asked that bullpen to blow the lead in the ninth inning, right? And again, if you're buying selections or you're riding my picks, or hey, you didn't complain at the beginning of the day when you wanted the selections, and at the end of the day, I hopefully what I try to do is put you in the best position to win. And sometimes we just can't control the outcome, and this is why I always say you bet the percentage play, right? All right, so looking at today's game between the Boston Red Sox, 19-9 against those C-type teams at Fenway. Now this game is going to go at 1 o'clock today, and let's take a look at the Texas Rangers. Any situations? Coming off a big win, they're only 6-11, and when they're coming off a road win as an underdog, 4-7, 3-7-1 to the under. And again, what I like to do in these type of situations, especially a getaway day like today, Texas is going to be getting away after this one, and they're they had to stay an extra day, but they go to Cleveland tomorrow, and Boston's going to host Minnesota. And I like, since the last game went over, I think it went over. Let me see what the total of that last game was. Total was 9.5 and went over. Maybe the under might be worth a look here today with Nathan Eovaldi going. Obviously I'm not going to lay $300 on the Boston Red Sox. But for sure, I would probably lean towards the under today between Boston and Texas. All right, let's go to the next game, Arizona against Pittsburgh. And let me see here. Arizona against Pittsburgh. You got Humberto Mejia going up against Will Crow of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And you can see right here the Pirates 126 favorite. The over-under is set at 9. ATS forecast, computer pick, gonna lean with the Bucks 4.03, 4.84. The over-under at 8.87. Looking at Pittsburgh, 3-7 in their last 10, 7-3 for the Arizona Diamondbacks in their last 10 games, 4-5-1 to the over/under, while Pittsburgh 2-6-2 to the under in their last 10 games. So the Bucks have played a lot of unders, but they're not having a good year, right? But you look at their strength of schedule last 7, 65.3%. And let's take a look at Arizona. Coming off a big win yesterday at Coors. We had that great system play that didn't pan out for us, unfortunately. Arizona on the road, 15-47, while Pittsburgh 24-35 at home. And let's take a look at some of the Kogo here. The Kogo's at 58%. The Kogo stands for 58% chance of this game going over the total. The chances of winning, the percentage play does favor Arizona here at 67%. And let's take a look at some of the under numbers down here. Coming off a win, 10-4 for Arizona on the road in their next game. The last 30 days, they're 4-8 on the road, 6-6 to the over/under. Facing a right-handed pitcher, they're 8-30 against righties this season. And let me see some of the over/unders for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh only 1-6 in the month of August at home, so not a great home record for the Bucks. 16-22, and the last 30 days they are 3-9 straight up the last 30 days. But looking at this game here, probably lean with Pittsburgh here. Arizona coming off a big win yesterday, while the Bucks coming off a 3-0 loss to the Cardinals, and when they're at home, coming off a loss as a road underdog, only 2-5, 12-22, and they didn't score any runs in their last game. I'm gonna have to bring up my database to take a look at some of the other stats, and I'll get back to that one in just a second. All right, Isaiah's in the house. How you doing, Isaiah? Eric Jones, what's up? Betting White Sox under for sure. On face value, bet of the day, Ron Diamondbacks scoring 16-21 last 10 versus Pirates, going for 11 wins in a row. Value bet of the day, Rockies 7-3, Chicago Cubs. Pirates over, says Matty O. And I'm taking the D-backs even though it's a road game, says Lori Bauer. All right, let's take a look at the next game on deck. You got the burly right-hander, Lance Lynn, going up against Toronto's Alek Manoah of the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, looking at some of the numbers here, the last 3 games for the Blue Jays now have gone under the total. A rough weekend. Nice to see Miguel Cabrera get his 500 home run yesterday. Now, looking at when Manoah starts for the Blue Jays, they are 8-4. 14-7 when Lance Lynn goes for the White Sox. Now, the bookmakers have got the White Sox here, minus 109. I'm going to take a look at Bookmaker to see what Bookmaker has on this line. And that's the sports book I use. I've been with Bookmaker for over 20 years. And, to me, they are the number one sports book out there. And I love Bookmaker. All right. Let me see here. What does Bookmaker has? Minus 111 now for the Toronto. So basically a pick'em. It has basically a pick'em price here on the day for between the Blue Jays. Now again, let's go to perception, right? What's the perception of the Blue Jays right now? If you look at their last 10 games, 3-7, they're struggling. Only 2.3 runs in their last 3, 3.6. So you see the decline of run production. But you know what? The pitching has been solid for the Blue Jays. Only giving up 3 runs in their last 3 games, but 5.8 in their last 5. And Chicago's just happy to get out of Tampa Bay. I think a lot of teams are happy to get out of Tampa. Tampa Bay, one of the best hitting teams, and you can see right there for the line value. I had the White Sox at minus 166, and I had the Toronto Blue Jays at minus 160. The chance of winning, though, does favor the Blue Jays. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be a really good game. You got 2 teams, one team that's fading a bit in the Toronto Blue Jays, but they, with the young guns they have, the batting of production and run production, they can, they can just turn on the switch and the Blue Jays will be up. They'll put 6 runs in 3 innings, right? But Chicago White Sox coming off a loss and they're on the road in the next game, 14-17, but 4-8 coming off a road loss as an underdog. And coming off they'll be the 4th game in a row now. They're coming off that 3-game road trip, and in the last 30 days, only 7-8 on the road the last 30 days take a look at some of the numbers for the bullpen for the total. When the Chicago White Sox coming off a road loss as an underdog, 3-7-2 to the under, and for the Toronto Blue Jays coming off a home loss as a favorite, 10-8 in their next game, and let me see here, 1-5 coming off a 2-run loss this season at home, and at home the last 30 days, 10-6, 4-10-2. Again, I do like. See, I just wish we were getting a dog value money here on the Blue Jays because I had them at -1. I got, there's value on both these teams, but to me, this is a pick 'em. How do you go against? I'll take the veteran in this one. I'll take Lance Lynn, and I do like the under in this game between Toronto and the White Sox. All right, let's see what's going on here in the bullpen. I'm taking the D-backs, even though it's a road game, says Lori Bauer. Stay away from me, says Jermaine Brown. 5 days until college football. Yep. Yeah, we got college football in a couple days. The stats for so if you're a member of ATS Stats and you're wondering where the college football stats are, NFL, NFL will come out week 1. The college football stats will come out every Tuesday. So once we're in college football, NFL, all the stats will come out on Tuesday. So this way, you could get all your stats on a Tuesday. No pressure, Ron, but we need a Gold Glove here. Yeah, you know what? That's a great. So what Ed Muss is talking about, Ed Drake. If you go to bullpenpicks.com and you look at the top pickers, there's not too many opportunities to get a Gold Glove. Today is the day. If you're wondering how you get a Gold Glove, well, anytime you go perfect at bullpenpicks.com, you get a Gold Glove, and you can see right now that today would be a perfect day for anybody to pick up a Gold Glove. And let's see if we can pick up a Gold Glove here today, Eddie. All right, White Sox for me, says Isaiah Brown. I agree with you, Isaiah. I like the White Sox too. All right, the game of the night will be at SunTrust Park in Atlanta. Husker Nora going up against Jordan Montgomery, the lefty for the New York Yankees. And the bookmakers, let me see, at bookmaker, they got the, where's the Yankees? -109 for the Atlanta Braves. So I agree with that. A pick 'em number right here, right? Look at Atlanta. The 2 teams on a 9-game win streak. Now you look at the Braves' last 10 games, obviously 9-1, 5. Look, you can't get more balanced that on a total. And when I talk about the total last 10, I'm thinking of the market psychology of the betting public, right? What they're thinking. -139 here is the number for the Atlanta Braves. 156 for the Yankees. So you can see the Yankees are a bit better in the daily market value index here. And the Yankees are hot. Ever since the trade deadline, it's tough to go against the Yankees, but I wonder what their record is on the road the last 30 days. Let's go to my smart database right here, and let's go take a look at the last 30 days on the road. Which team has the best road record the last 30 days? I bet you the Yankees are right up there. So let's go to July 23rd. Let's go look at July 23rd. And we'll take it right up to August 23rd. And let's go take a look at this. Yankees 10-5. Wow. Boston 2-11. Toronto 6-9. Baltimore 3-11. Tampa Bay 8-4. Minnesota. White Sox 7-9. The White Sox only 7-9 last 30 days on the road. Kansas City 6-6. And this is good to do these type of exercise once in a while because you tend to forget, because sometimes when you're handicapping games, you're including home and away, right? And sometimes you get these Jekyll and Hyde teams that you tend to forget, because a team has played, like 2 weeks at home, then you forget that, prior to that homestand, they were really horrible on the road, right? So it's always good to go back and look at the database to see the home and road records consecutively to see how the team has done in the last 30 days. Like Detroit 8-7, Oakland 9-10. A little surprising. I thought Oakland a little bit better, right? Good team in Oakland. Seattle 8-8. Money dog right there. Angels 10-8. Texas 2-9. Not having a good run. So there's not too good. Not looking good today. 5-6 to the under. Houston, Atlanta. Look at that on the road. 16-14. But look who they played, right? Philadelphia, Mets, St. Louis, Washington, Miami, Baltimore, all losing teams. Miami 2-10, Philadelphia 7-6 on the road, Washington 4-11. The Mets, the Mets are struggling, 3-11 on the road. St. Louis 8-3, Pittsburgh 5-11, Cincinnati not a bad team 8-6, Milwaukee 13-3, road killers right there. 7-3 for San Francisco, 8-4 for the Dodger Blue, 4-9 for Arizona, and 5-11 for Colorado, and San Diego 3-9. All right, just wanted to get you guys that information. Great stats to look up. Yankees road win. Yeah, no, the Yankees on the road have been money. Do you have a lean on the Jags Saints? Yeah, we're going to talk about that game tonight there, Matteo, on tonight's game between the Saints and the Jags. Should be a good one. And again, I can't wait to talk about that one. I got some thoughts on that game. Now, looking at the Yankees on the road this year, 33-27, 24-36 to the under, and for Atlanta, 31-29, 33-24-3 to the over for Atlanta at home, 31-29. What about as a home favorite? 26-26. And if you look at the last 15 games for Atlanta, again, now be careful. Like, I know a lot of people are going to be on Atlanta tonight, but look who they played. Look at their oh wow, look at their strength of schedule last 7 games, right? 6.12, and the Yankees. You know, it's tough to go against the Yankees right now. Let's take a look at Montgomery's number the last couple of days. So let's take a look at his ERA. So Jordan Montgomery, 4-5 on the year, 3.7 ERA. Huascar Noah, 4-2, 2.70 ERA. And Jordan Montgomery's last couple of starts, only 1 decision and then 2 no decision, but he's only gone 5 innings, and he only went 4.2 innings against the Boston Red Sox in his last outing, where Huascar Noah, I think Noah's back from an injury. So August 17th, he started 3 hits, no runs, looked pretty good, 4 Ks. So, but the only thing that scares me with Atlanta tonight is that they haven't played anybody in a long time, right? When you look at their games they played. And for the New York Yankees, 6-2 on 1 day's rest when they're on the road the next game. Coming off a win in their last game, only 19-15 on the road. 10-4 the last 30 days. And let me see here. Atlanta versus lefties at home. 13-6-2 to the over. You know, the over looks pretty good here tonight. You know, I'm still a bit undecided because, anytime you get 2 streaking teams, which streak do you go with, right? What team, the hotter team, but they're both hot. Maybe the over is where you want to lean here tonight. All right, let's take a look at what you guys are saying. Yeah, Yankees are fresh, Ron. Wins 28 in Atlanta. Huascar Noah has been tagged before 2 runs for 4 hits, 3 walks in 1 innings. Daunting task for the Braves. Stanton, Judge, now Voit. Yeah, no, Yankees are heating up, right? And what's the total in this game here tonight? Total's 9.5. Man, I wish it was 9. I just wish it was 9, so this way if you get that push, maybe you buy the hook, right? Shop for value. Colorado taking on the Cubbies. Braves needs to prove a point. I'm hoping Freddie Freeman grand slam. Come on, Freddie. Eugene Hill's a big, hey? Eugene loves Freddie Freeman here. I like that. Atlanta is the favorite. Books may trying to get everyone on the Yankees. Now that's a great post right there. Isaiah said Atlanta is the favorite. Maybe the books are trying to get everyone to bet the Yankees, right? Could be. That's a great observation right there by Cheeks. Colorado sending Antonio Sensatella to the hill today against Kyle Hendricks for the Chicago Cubs. Colorado 6-4 in the last 10. Cubbies 2-8. And you can see the daily market value index, 163 for the Cubs, 123 for the Colorado Rockies. The chance of winning, 79% for the Cubbies, 44% for the Rockies. Now, the Rockies, we all know their situation, right? Best home team probably in the leagues with San Fran and a couple others. 43-22 at home, but look at this, 14-45. How can you be that bad on the home, on the road compared to your home record, right? It just blows me away. How do you just, forget to play? You forget to play baseball when you're on the road, or what? Chicago 31-31 on the year, 30-30. You can't get more even than that for straight up in totals, right? And looking at some of the numbers here, Colorado 3-8 against those C-type teams on the road. And you know what? I got a feeling there probably won't be a lot of analytics to really support the Colorado Rockies. But the misery loves company, and then they're facing at Wrigley tonight, right? Wrigley, Chicago Cubs not doing as well either since the trade deadline. Look at this. The last 45 days at Wrigley Field, 4-15, 10-7-2 to the over/under. Again, I try not to bet on bad teams, but when you look at both these teams here tonight, man, the perception is Colorado is a better baseball team, right? But Kyle Hendricks, when the Cubbies needed that streak to end, who's the one who ended it, right? It was Kyle Hendricks. And if you look at the last, let's take a look at the last couple of starts for Hendricks. 14-5 on the year, 4.05. The only bright spot for the for the Cubbies. Yeah, he got the win against Cincinnati at Cincinnati. He went 6 innings, and the one thing with Hendricks, he will try to give you innings. Very rare will Kyle Hendricks go less than 5 innings, right? If I look since June 12th, he's only gone less than 4 innings or 5 innings twice, and he had 3 Ks, 3 walks though. He had 3 walks last game, and for Antonio Sensatella here for the Rockies, 2.9 in the year, 4.58 ERA. And hasn't had a win decision since June 2nd. So Sensatella, I'm gonna go with the home team here, right? Just Colorado on the road, not a good record. Give me the Chicago Cubs here. I can't touch this game, says Isaiah. Come on, Isaiah, you can do it. Hey, all right. Let's go to the next game here. Let's take a look at Kansas City, Houston. Kansas City, we got a problem. Or Houston, we got a problem, right? Man, I had the under in that game last night, and sure enough, it was looking good until, Kansas City lost to the Mariners. Mariners exploded there, 6-3 final. Man, when it rains, it pours, right, sometimes? But it is what it is. Kansas City sending Daniel Lynch to the hill against Zach Greinke today, the old veteran for the Stros. The minus 2.35, my line is minus 193, and you can see Kansas City plus 135 is my number. And we got Houston winning this one, 5.1 to 3.3. The over-under at 8.56. Houston last 10 games, 5-5. Kansas City 6-4. Kansas City on a 3-game win streak. Keep in mind though, it was against the Cubs, and that's what people will remember, right? People will always remember that last game. Kansas City 6-4 in the last 10. Houston 5-5. I really thought Houston turned the corner, and even though they're still looking good in the standings. In fact, when I look at their standings, they're still sitting in first place, 3.5 games ahead of Oakland, and 73 wins. A quiet 73 wins for Houston this year, right? And let's take a look at some of the. Then Zach Greinke, you got a veteran going. Lori Bauer says Cubs first 5 maybe. Yep, that's a great point, Lori. I like that one. Cubs first 5, it could be a good one. For Kansas City, let's take a look at some of their odds here. 3-7 to the under in the month of August for the Royals on the road, and 19-35 as a road underdog on the season. Coming off a win as a road underdog in their last game, 4-9, 4-8-1 to the under. And for Houston, let's take a look at the Houston Astros. Again, not playing Houston. What's that line? 235 or something like that. Yeah, I'm not going to touch that. 17-11 versus lefties, 14-12-2. Maybe the over is where you want to lean here today. Maybe the over is where you want to go between Kansas City and the Houston Astros. What's the Kogo? Kogo's at 42%, so percentage play does favor the under tonight. All right, let's take a look at the last game on the board between Seattle and the Oakland A's. Now, the Oakland A's, again, lost a really tough one yesterday, 2-1 against San Francisco. The good teams find a way to win, right? And that's why I always say if you're betting in baseball, in sports that have a lot of number of games, cut the board in half and just bet on winning teams, right? Because losing team, but even though Oakland's not a losing team, winning teams always find a way to win. That's what I'm trying to say. Oakland 3-7 in their last 10. Seattle 7-3. Seattle coming off a 6-3 win over the Stros. But if you look at their last 10 games, 7-3 straight up, 3-2 in their last 5, averaging 4.4 runs for, but giving up 7.8 runs against. Seattle's bullpen not really holding up here, giving up 10 runs. But that's Houston, right? Minute Maid Park. When you're allowing 12 and 15 runs, that's going to hurt your run average. And this is where maybe it's a little bit exaggerated, right? Public's going to see this, and for teams to continue at that pace. And keep in mind, this was in Houston, so they're in Oakland today. And I think Oakland, not sure if Oakland's a hitter's ballpark. I always thought it was a pitcher's ballpark. But Oakland here today, minus 119 against Marco Gonzalez. I think Oakland could be worth a look here tonight. At home on the season, they're 35-27, where Seattle's 30-33. But keep in mind, though, Seattle's been a good return on investment team all season long. 9-12 on the road as a coming off a road win as an underdog. 8-8 the last 30 days. Yeah, they're pretty much even Steven right here when you think of the perception and the value. Speaking of value, what's the value on Seattle here tonight? I had them listed at plus 112, and look at that, plus 114. So fair market value today on Seattle, and minus 127 and minus 119 for Oakland. Looking at the numbers here for the Oakland A's, I don't see a lot of things that are jumping up. 30-21, 5-3 in the month of August. Maybe some of the trends that I have might lean towards. In fact, let me go look at the trends on tonight's game between Oakland and Seattle. All right, let me go back here. And trends are your friends. If you've been following the channel, this is one of our favorite segments right here. Now, we do have our 80% club. I'll come to that in just 1 second since we got a lot of time here today. Let me see here. 44 minutes, man. We're running good timing today. That's only because there's not a lot of games, right? So we'll take a look at some of the top trends for each of the games, and hopefully we could help you out in this respect, right? All right, Texas Rangers 11-1 straight up when they're an away team, coming off a game where they allowed 1 run against in their last game, the last 2 years. So that's a good number right there on the Texas Rangers. The Boston Red Sox 13-4 as a home team, coming off a loss in their last game versus a right-handed pitcher. So a couple of some stats there. If you're, and again, when I do this segment here, guys, I'm not, and when I'm telling you the trends, I'm not telling you to bet that team, bet this team. I'm just giving you facts, right? Take it like like icing on a cake type thing. All right, I've been cashing all weekend with Royals. Tricky since Royals swept in 1 week ago since Matty O. Did we go over Astros game? Did we go over the Astros game? Are you talking Jared Schrader? Are you talking about yesterday? Yeah, they went over. Today, the Astros today. Let me see here. Astros. I like the under in that game here today. Greinke, Kansas City. But again, I haven't done any of my handicapping yet, so what I'm doing right now is just basically gathering facts, and I will have my selections up later. Arizona taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, Diamondbacks 14-4 as a pick'em the 120 road underdog. Monday games the last 10 years. Wow. The over is 9-3 as an away team, coming off a game when they're coming off a 4-run win in their last game. So let me repeat that. The over is 9-3-0 for Arizona as an away team, coming off a 4-run win the last 3 years. So the over looks pretty good right there if you like that trend. And for the Pittsburgh Pirates on Mondays, look at that. 9-2-0 on Monday games. And let's see here. The Pirates 120-140 as a home favorite, coming off a loss versus a National Central Division opponent the last 5 years. All right, 6 and over. Oakland under in the Oakland game, says Isaiah. And again, if you guys want to post your picks, go ahead in the bullpen. All right, let's take a look at Toronto against the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox 10-2 as a pick in the 120 road favorite, coming off the American League East division opponent. So coming off a Tampa Bay game. So 10-2 last 10 years. And for the Toronto Blue Jays, this season 8-2 as a home team, coming off the American League Central Division opponent like Detroit. And if you like the under in the Blue Jay game, the under is 9-3 for the Jays as a pick 'em to 120 home underdog, coming off a game where they allowed 5 runs against in the last 10 years. All right, let's go to the next one here. And Zona team total, perhaps, says Isaiah. I like the total right there. New York Yankees taking on the Atlanta Braves. Game of the night. That's going to be a great game to watch. The over, 10-2 for the Yankees as a pick on the 120 road favorite, coming off an American Conference opponent the last 3 years. Yankees 8-2 as a pick on the 120 road favorite, coming off a right-handed pitcher the last 3 years. Any current season here? Let me see if there's any current season. 4-8 for the Yankees as an away team, coming off a day game. Not a good one right there if you like the Yankees. The under is 9-2-0 for the Braves as a -100, -120. So basically a pick 'em, the 120 home favorite, coming off a game where they only allowed 1 run against the last 7 years. So the under trend looks really good there tonight between the Yankees and the Braves. But I like the over. I'm going to go against that trend. I think the over is pretty good. House on the under, A's full game, says Matt O. Zach Reed, sorry for joining late. Just got out of class. Good morning, Mr. Ron. How you doing, Zach? Welcome to the bullpen, buddy. All right, let's take a look at Chicago Cubs against the Colorado Rockies. The under 9-3-1 for the Rockies as an away team, coming off a game, coming off a 4-run loss. So Colorado lost 8-4 yesterday. The under 9-3-1 for Colorado when they're an away team, coming off a 4-run loss in their last game, and that's last 2 years. And the Cubbies 21-10 as a home team, coming off an 8-run loss since 1996. So let me repeat that. The Chicago Cubs 21-10 as a home team, coming off a 8-run loss. And I think they lost 9-1 the last game. All right, get the old throat going again. All right, let's take a look at the top trends for the other game between Kansas City and Houston. And let's see what we got here on top. We got the under 13-3-0 for the Royals as an away team, coming off a game where they only allowed 1 run against the last 3 years. That's a pretty solid trend right there. 29-8 for Houston as a home team, playing the month of August the last 2 years. And pretty good right there. All right, Rockies killed me yesterday. If that system play would have hit, I would hit a 5-team parlay. Yeah, that hurt me too. Yeah, that was a tough one, Zach. That was a tough one. Seattle 9-1 for the Mariners. So the over is 9-1-0 for the Mariners as an away team, coming off a 3-run win the last 2 years. So the over is 9-1 for Seattle as an away team, coming off a 3-run win the last 2 years. And for Oakland, 24-7 in the month of August the last 2 seasons. Let me see if I got a current season stat for you guys here on Oakland. Current season 8-4. The A's as a pick on the 120 home favorite versus a conference opponent. All right, let's take a look at the 80% club and see if we got any good stats here for you guys. I gave you team by team stats. Now let's see which are the top stats here today. Let's take a look at the top. All right, so we only got 12 of them. The Rangers 11-1 as an away team, coming off a game where they allowed 1 run against, 91%. So I think we went all. Yeah, we did go over these ones. So those are some of your top trends here today. The over 9-1 for the Mariners as an away team, coming off a 3-run win the last 2 years. And I do have the old 80% club stats. Let me bring up this one here. See, it's good to do a show like this, so this way it helps me with my handicapping while I'm researching as well, right? And like I said, there's always a method to my madness here. The Yankees as a road team versus National League East opponents the last 20 games, 16-4 to the under. When Zach Greinke is a home team with a spread of 220 to 240, 15-2. But look at that, 13-4 to the over. That's a pretty good pitching stat to the over on Greinke. Chicago Cubs is a home team versus National League West division opponent, 16-4 last 20. So if you like the Cubbies, that's a pretty good stat right there. Let me see here. Texas, Oakland. Look at that, Oakland 10-0. The A's are 10-0 versus lefties after a non-conference game, coming off a loss in Game 3 of a series, and they're coming off a loss versus a National West opponent. So anytime the Oakland A's are a home team versus a lefty, and it's after a non-conference game that they lost in the 3rd game of a series, and it was against a National West division opponent, 10-0, perfect 10-0 straight up in the next game. And the Cubbies, 9-1 versus National League West opponent after a non-conference game, 2-8 to the under. So some good stats there today from the Raymond Report. Yeah, so you can see a lot of stats pointing towards the Cubs. I'm seeing in Oakland, right? So I'm seeing indicators. We're always looking for indicators when you're doing these stats, right? So speaking of indicators, trying to see my sheet, anything really stands out. I don't see anything really that stands right out. But let's go make my picks right now at bullpenpicks.com. All right, each and every day I do my picks. Hopefully I do my picks each and every day after I do the charts. So game number 1, I'm going to go with Nathan Eovaldi to beat up Kobe Allard and the Texas Rangers. I'm going to go with the Bucks. I'm going to go with Will Crow, against Humberto Maya. Arizona, putting up back-to-back wins. We'll see. This one's a good one here. Alex Manoah. I'm going to go with the veteran. I'm going to go with Lance Lynn, 56%. I'm going to take the Yankees. I hate going against a hot team. And Atlanta, even though they're streaking, they haven't played anybody. So they're beating the beatables, right? Colorado, Chicago, I'm going to take the Cubbies, 54%. I'm going to go, am I taking all favorites so far? Favorite. Pittsburgh is a favorite. Houston, so Chicago's a favorite. Yankees, Yankees a dog. Well, pick them. Chicago Cubs, favorite. Yeah, I hate taking all favorites. Yeah, but what's coming in of late, right? It's all favorites. Seattle against Oakland. I do like Oakland in this one. And I'm going to go Kansas City. I'm going to go 53 because Kansas City swept or won 3 of 4 against Houston last week, right? So hopefully they still have some more bats in there. And I'm going to go Kansas City. Can't take all the favorites, right, Ron? And those are my plays today at bullpenpicks.com. And again, folks, make your selection each and every day. And you can see early voting is in. Everybody's on the Red Sox. Everybody's on. Oh, look at that! I had the deciding vote here on the Bucks. So basically, pick them. 17-2 for Chicago. Yeah. 16-3 for the Yankees. Yeah, public team. Chicago 12-7. Houston 13, and Oakland 11-3, 11-8. So you can see a lot of people betting the favorites, right? All right, the game tonight between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New Orleans Saints. Let me see what the latest line here at Bookmaker. I think it was -4, and the over/under 39.5 tonight, right? And when you look at the last week, New Orleans played last week. I think they played, was it Baltimore? And they had something like 6 turnovers, right? Let me just do a double check right here on the New Orleans Saints. Now the Saints losing 17-14 last week to the Baltimore Ravens, but Baltimore's won 19 in a row preseason games. Anybody can lose to them these days. 6 turnovers, and life after Drew Brees, right? Life after Drew Brees. And when I look at this game here tonight, and I look at the quarterback rotation, you got Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston. Let me see here. New Orleans Saints. Where's the Saints here? Jameis Winston. All right, so no order, specific order. Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston, Ian Book, Trevor Siemian. Those are your potential quarterbacks tonight for the Saints. And for the Jacksonville Jaguars, obviously you got Trevor Lawrence, you got Gardner Minshew, C.J. Beathard, and Jake Luton, right? Now, the thing is, in this game here tonight, you got a team, that won one game last year, right? The Jacksonville. They're the team here tonight. All of America's watching. North America's watching. The world is watching this game here tonight. The Saints coming off a game with 6 turnovers. The bookmakers have put New Orleans a 4-point favorite in this game. If this was a regular season game with a Drew Brees, what would be the line, right? It'd be up there in like 7, maybe 10. Urban Meyer, first real national spotlight here tonight. I'm gonna go probably against the public here, and I'm gonna go with the Jacksonville Jaguars +4. And the reason why is after Trevor Lawrence, you do have some pretty experienced quarterbacks going in tonight. And if Jameis Winston, we know his turnovers, right? If he goes in there and he starts doing more turnovers, the thing is, we're not asking Jacksonville to win tonight. We're just asking them to cover the spread of 4. But I do like the Jaguars backup quarterback. A little bit more experience in regards to, like, say when I look at Gardner Minshew, C.J. Beathard, and Jake Luton, not Jake Luton, but C.J. Beathard. I believe he was with San Francisco at one point. And so give me Jacksonville +4 here tonight. And I know I'm probably going against the public perception or public team here tonight. I think a lot of people is going to be on. I think a lot of people are going to bet on New Orleans. But again, at home, I get it. Sean Payton going to want to erase last week's turnover. You don't want to be turning the ball over 6 times again, right? But again, life after Drew Brees, what it's going to be look like. Is Sean Payton really going to show any of his offense in preseason? We all know with Taysom Hill, it can go wildcat. It can, Taysom Hill is a good athlete. So, I'm going to go with Jacksonville +4 here tonight, guys. And that is my selection. What do you guys like in that game? Are you guys going Jacksonville, New Orleans? You're playing the total? Be interested to hear what you guys like in that game here tonight. All right, you guys still with me there? I can see nobody's chatting there for a while, so maybe it's time to call it a day here at the Raymond Report. All right, folks, that's it for a Manic Monday, August 23rd. Hopefully you guys got something out of that. And again, if you're interested in a membership today at ATSstats.com, get 20% off your next membership. Use promo code FB21. That's F as in Frank, B as in Bravo, 21, and get 20% off your next membership package. Saints first half, says Jermaine Brown. Thanks, Ron, says Ed Drake. Yeah, you know what? That Saints first half, what's the line on that? -2? That could be worth a look because it could be, that's a good idea, Jermaine. Saints first half. What's the money line first half? That's what I'd probably be looking at. But I think the second, you're right. It could be a Saints, first half, and then Jacksonville playing better in the second half and maybe just a backdoor cover, right? I'm looking more for like a backdoor cover type thing here tonight. All right, folks, have yourself a great rest of your Monday. I'll be back here on a Ruby Tuesday to bring you guys